Hello everyone, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft. Well, if you watch my channel, you know that earlier this year I did a video on a water bottle survival kit and gave some ideas on putting one together. I wanted to revisit that. It is pretty common today, wherever you go, to find people carrying water bottles. I carry one with me in my vehicle to work, wherever I go. You know, whether you work in a bank, grocery store, out on a ranch, you're going on a hike in the woods, whatever, carrying water bottles is a good idea and it's common. Well, the thing is, if you're used to carrying a water bottle, you're only one step away from having a survival kit. All you need is to get a water bottle carrier like this Orca from Amazon. I'll put that in the description. Or some other brand, whatever you like, and put some basics in it. And it can make a dramatic difference. You're so close already to having a survival kit, carrying your water bottle with you every day. You know, you go and you fill it up with ice or water or whatever. You head off to work. It's near you at work. You take drinks throughout the day. It's under your desk at your office, whatever. Just get a pouch, get some basic gear, and put together a kit. Right now in Prineville, we have hundreds and hundreds of people who are evacuated from their homes because of wildfire. The fire broke out in the afternoon while many were at work. They could not return home. Hopefully they had some kind of, you know, evacuation bag, bug out bag, whatever, in their vehicle, because it's been a couple days and many still can't go home and others had to leave. So this is just one more thing. Obviously this isn't a big evacuation bag or something that you would like to have, but it has important things in it that can help you. You know, what about power outages? We've been having electrical storms, thunderstorms here, knocking the power out. Say you work in a building and the power goes out and you're stranded for a while. Do you have water? Do you have a snack? Do you have light? Do you have first aid? Someone cut themselves, whatever. I want to touch on this again because it's just so important, you know, with everything going on around us in the world, to always have something at least basic. This is so much better than nothing at all. So I'm going to lower you guys down and give you a better view, kind of go through this again, talk about some of the things, what you should have and why you should have them. Okay, again, this pouch is Orca is the brand, and I really like it because it's taller and it has a compartment on the bottom that gives you more space besides the zippered pouch on the side. And then you have webbing all the way around so that you can attach more pouches. I just picked out some cheap off brand on Amazon to put on the side. So I have a place to put my car keys. I have a place to put my cell phone. These are items that go with most people too. You got your water bottle, you got your cell phone, you got your car keys. Great. Here's a zippered pocket right on the side. Shove my car keys, shove my cell phone. Little bonus side pocket on this one where I shoved Cliff Bar. Having a snack at work or on the go or whatever, another handy thing. But again, this is a survival kit. So it has the things that you would carry with you wherever, your water, your car keys, your cell phone. But with these other pouches, you can build a kit around it. So let's start with the main compartment and the bottle. Stainless steel water bottle. Now maybe you're in a situation where the odds of having to boil water or being able to do a fire and boil water are slim to none. Still, there's advantages to a stainless steel water bottle. It's far less likely to break than plastic. This clean canteen is 40 ounces, so I've got 42 ounces of water. I can hang it, I can attach it to my belt as I'm walking. Again, if I needed to boil it, if there was not another option, and I could boil it. Maybe the water's bad, but the power is still on. You could put water in here, set it on a stovetop or something, get it boiling. All right, so then we've got this nice pouch here, and opening this up, show you guys how everything kind of sits in here. I have right inside a basic first aid kit. Something small, but it will cover things that are basic. I know you guys can't see my face here. I'm gonna actually scoot down so you can see me. I'm trying to make sure you can see everything in the pouch or in the water bottle carrier. So basic first aid kit, and I'll just readjust you guys a little bit. There you go. And then another thing that you should have, an emergency blanket. This is the SOL heat sheet. This is the one you want. The cheaper Mylar blankets will tear easy, and if you get a small tear in it or a hole or a rip, it'll just fall apart. I had one of these I've done videos on where I took it repeatedly to the woods for over a year, put a hole in it on purpose, and it still never ripped out. So emergency blanket, just some kind of basic first aid. Look, if you cut yourself on a rusty nail trying to get out a window because there was a power outage and you couldn't get out the door or something, having a way to clean it out, get some antibiotic and a bandage on it, could save you in the long run. Okay, we've got some spots here to hold gear. A great item to have in your kit, a great starting point, is a multi-tool. You know, whether you are out in the woods or whether you are in, you know, a city environment, cutting wire, being able to take in and out screws, having a knife blade, having a saw blade, you know, the pliers, just a wide variety of tools that you might need for self-rescue, for example, or to get some wood shavings for a fire, whatever. This is the Leatherman rebar, and it is a great place to start. Now, again, I'm thinking along the lines of something happening at night, so or being in a building with a power outage, so a very basic light like this little O light. You don't want to walk downstairs in the dark in a power outage in a building. And then from there we go to fire starters. Now, if you like lighters, great, carry a lighter. I have one tucked down in here, but I also have a ferro rod, one with a nice bright handle and bright cordage, so I don't lose it. Because lighters, inadvertently the button gets pushed, it runs out of fuel, other things happen, your ferro rod won't. So if you don't know how to use a ferro rod, learn how to use a ferro rod and put a ferro rod in your kit. So that gives me some items for first aid, for emergency shelter, lighting with my tool. I've got a cutting tool with a knife, I've got fire starting. And remember, on this little Orca, we also have a bottom compartment. So in the bottom compartment, I have a small roll of Gorilla Tape. Okay, this can be used for first aid, it can be used for fire starting, it can be used for emergency repairs. I have some cordage. I chose bank line because it takes up less room, yet it's very strong, several hundred pounds for breaking strength. I have a cotton bandana, wide variety of uses, including first aid, head covering, scarf. Wildfire breaks out nearby, there's a lot of smoke in the air, or, you know, something like 9/11. It's a way to cover your face and so you can breathe and keep the junk out, like I just got. I have some quick tinder fire tabs, so I don't want to hunt around for anything to get a fire going. I can just open up one of these, hit it with a spark, or, as I mentioned earlier, my lighter down in the bottom, get a fire started, get warm, boil water, put up a signal, have light, whatever the situation is that calls for fire. And again, you want to customize it for yourself. This is just some basic ideas based on my environment, my experience. I don't work in a city or go to a city or go up into big buildings with stairs. There's just none in my area with numerous flights of stairs. But I do go out on a ranch several miles out of town quite a few times a week. I go out in the woods regularly. I go on hikes and stuff. Yes, I have my survival kit and my pack and shoulder bag, but when that's inconvenient and I'm traveling out on a ranch, for example, big ranch, and I'm on a side-by-side or a four-wheeler, this is always with me. All of these basic items are with me, and I've used them. You know, I've cut myself on barbed wire more than once and had to use the first aid kit. And various other items in here I have used. I've always got my emergency backup snack in here, which I've used. So the other thing I would say, again, I'm specifically addressing more than anyone those people who get up every morning, drink their coffee, have their breakfast, whatever, grab their water bottle, fill it, their cell phone, their car keys, and head off to work or wherever. You're one step away from having a survival kit, a lifeline. Just get the pouch, start putting some basics in it, a lighter, a multi-tool, go from there, and be prepared. So to that, I would say add a knife. I'm gonna pause you guys for a second. Okay, in addition to your kit, I know you guys can't see my face again, I'll get it up here in a minute. You should have some kind of a knife. The multi-tool is great, but the knife blade really is a backup. Get a knife specific to what your environment is, or a series of knives. If you work in an environment where, you know, you're in a bank, you're in a store, whatever, get a nice folding knife like this rat one from Ontario. Great, heavy duty. I've started fires with it. You've seen me. It's got a 90-degree spine. I've batoned lightly with it. It is a great knife. Self-defense is another thing to think about, worst case scenario. So if you maybe, like I said, you work in an office building or something, well, a knife like this, it would fit in your pocket, your purse, in your water bottle survival kit bag, whatever. Little more rural area. For example, I mentioned I go out on a ranch and do some workout on a ranch. Quite often, I have the Esee JG3 on my belt at all times. It gives me a great little knife for cutting willows, cutting cordage, cutting rope, things that I do frequently out there. And the one thing I did is I customized the sheath a little bit by putting a piece of shot cord and one of those little locks on it. And then that way it's just secured on my belt, so when I get sideways and things out there, I don't ever lose my knife. And then of course, if you're thinking about carrying this on a wilderness hike or something, you might think something much more stout like the Architect knives. I'm wearing their shirt, AK 6.5, 1095 carbon steel. I've put a 90-degree spine on the back, and for an all-around survival knife to cover just about every situation, from building shelters, helping you construct fires, self-defense, whatever. You can't beat something like the 6.5 from Architect knives. So again, and I know I keep saying this, but if you're already carrying a water container of some kind with you, you're only one step away from being prepared for emergencies. Turn on the news any day of the week, they happen. How many people were expecting, out of the almost 1,000 people who've had to evacuate their homes because of the wildfire, how many people went to work expecting they could not come home and that they would be out for several days? Probably none, but there they are. So get yourself some kind of a pouch with pockets. Add some basic survival gear, prepper gear, whatever you want to call it. Pair it up with some kind of a knife, like the little rat one from Ontario, whatever your situation may be, and you're one step, closer to staying safe. You're prepared. You've got some basics. And again, basics are so much better than nothing, especially just like the simple little first aid kit. How many times, I can't tell you, I've been working around barbed wire and things and got one barb stuck in a finger. Hey, antibiotic, bandage, I'm good. Anyway, Dan at Ochiko Bushcraft, guys, it's been a while. I know I'm actually out in my back field right now doing this. Perfect place because my kit is out in my back field with me, and I am sitting down right next to some barbed wire and other sharp things back here, so to mention the first aid kit, and hope to get back out soon. It is an absolute tinderbox in the woods around here, super dry. We've had multiple wildfires already. We have several around us, including the one right outside of Prineville now, another one down at Madras, currently burning thousands of acres. So when I get out there, I'm going to be real careful. Obviously, no fires, no sparks, but we'll see if we can't get out there soon. Take care, everyone, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel.